Hi friends, it's Dawn, the recovery lady here. That's Dawn, D-A-W-N, like the morning, not Dawn or Donna. And thank you so much for joining me. I'm a behavioral health clinician here with life recovery tips to help you move forward. This is a safe, sane community. We keep it clean and we keep it positive. At the Recovery Lady, we are living in the solution. So for today's solution, I've been just going through this series on communication. And part of what makes our communication unhealthy and faulty is something called cognitive distortions. Big word. Big words. The way I think about cognitive distortions is like looking at something through a very thick screen or a very thick filter. You can kind of make it out, but you can't really see it clearly. Those filters, those screens in our mind cause cognitive distortions, meaning the way your brain is thinking and operating, you think you're hearing or seeing something in a conversation, and it's just not a 100% clear picture. So today I'm going to go over a few of these, and I want you to really listen and see which of any of these you might be participating in. Are you living in the problem and not realizing that some of your thinking patterns are actually distorted? You're seeing them through filters because of things that have happened in the past. The first one is called magnification. That's when we exaggerate something. This was the worst situation I've ever seen in my life. I've seen other bowlers, make gutter balls the whole time, but I literally did it, and it just was the worst thing that could possibly happen. When we magnify an issue like that and make it bigger than it actually is, we're minimizing anything that's positive. We're just micro-focusing on one thing and just blowing stuff up. So often our stories can be blown up with cognitive distortions because a lot of times we're focusing on a trauma in the past. It reminds us of something, and that's big. So magnification causes us to make something that's really not that big large. Another one is catastrophizing, and I just touched on that a little bit, kind of goes with the magnification. I just, if we go and we take that route down the road, I know there'll be another flood. The flood will lead to the pothole. The pothole will lead to a flat tire. Then we'll be on the side of the road and it'll probably rain. And then I'll have to, change the tire in the rain, and then I'll get a cold, and then I'll be in bed for a week. So no, I don't think we should go see the movie A Mile Away. That's catastrophizing, focusing on the worst thing that could possibly happen. And you maybe, like in that situation, haven't even left the house. Looking at the worst case scenario all the time. That's a result of a filter, of a distortion in your thinking. Another one is overgeneralization. Oh, it's just not that bad. I mean, sure, I always feel awkward. I'm going to go help my niece sell Girl Scout cookies, but it's just never that great. It's just going to be probably 50 cookies, and we're going to go door to door, and some people may not open it up, but then we'll sell a few. But, it may not be that great. When we overgeneralize, we're just making broad statements about things. If you're going to take your niece selling cookies, it's, hey, I'm going to really help her push in, and we're going to do the best we can with our ability, instead of just overgeneralizing it. Oh yeah, it's just some girls are just selling cookies. There's not a big deal. Maybe they'll get 50 boxes. Does that make sense? Just when you just it's like a neutralizing effect when we neutralize stuff. Magical thinking is when we just think something's going to happen. If we just think something's going to happen, and, I know somebody who's just like believes so strongly if you don't speak it, it won't happen. It's magical thinking. It's kind of a form of denial. This person believes if I don't speak this thing out loud, it won't happen. But if I do speak it, it will happen. That's a form of magical thinking, of thinking something's just going to work out and you don't have to do anything. For example, I know many single people, and they believe, and especially in the Christian faith, in my faith, they believe God knows what I want, the husband, the wife, whatever you're looking for. And I believe he knows me and he knows my heart, and what I desires of my heart, he's going to deliver that person to me. To live magical thinking. You're going to open the door one day, the Red Sea's parted, and Moses himself is going to walk up your spouse. That's magical thinking, thinking you don't have to do anything and that things are just going to fall into place. It's also a pattern of avoidance. Another one is shoulda, coulda, woulda. When you hear yourself saying, I should have done this, I should have done that, I should always keep, I don't even know if people have DVDs anymore, DVDs lined up alphabetically. I should. The shoulds and the coulds and the woulds are very hard. And they're also very self-condemning, especially if you're saying them to yourself or somebody else. You should have done it this way. You should have, put the lemon pledge to polish the furniture after you wipe the dust off, so it wouldn't cake up. They're concrete, hard-line statements. And when we talk that way, we act that way, and we're talking that way because we're thinking that way. That's a cognitive distortion. So when we find ourselves and catch ourselves doing it, we should correct it. Instead of, I should have dusted before I put the lemon pledge on. I don't even know if they make that anymore, to polish the furniture. Hey, maybe it'd be a good idea if I tried it this way versus that hard concrete. It tears you down when you say it to yourself, and it kind of tears other people down when you say it to them. Disqualifying the positive. Are you one of those people that when something happens, you had a great day, you ran the 5K, you came in second place, you're in the best shape of your life, you didn't even make the top 10 last year, and you're killing it. And then you get home and all your friends and family, everybody's like, yay, you made it. There's a party when you get home. People are so proud of you. And you're saying, oh, I should have got the Adidas shoes. I got the Brooks or, whatever, and they didn't hold up as well. And I could feel there wasn't as much oomph. And if I'd only got those other shoes, now I wore out a good pair of shoes that really didn't do that, blah, blah, blah. And you're off. And there's all these great things happening, but that perfectionism in you is focusing on that one negative thing. And then to make it worse, you're like, I should have done this. And you're throwing some shouldas into your overly negative thinking where you hyper focus on the negative. Can you hear where this stuff is going? These are things that was the overemphasizing the negative is disqualifying the positive. But when we do these things, these filters, and listen to your words, listen to the coulds, the shoulds, the woulds, all or nothing. You always, another distortion, always are late. Always. Ask yourself, really always? Is Bubba always late? In the 30 years you've known Bubba, has Bubba never once walked in the door on time? Never. All or nothing thinking and statements are dangerous. They're overgeneralized, and which over goes into the other one. And same thing as you never listen to what I say. Never. There's not a time in that person's life in your interaction that they once listened to what you say. Those are fighting words. Those are words you put out there that make it difficult to communicate. And I wanted to do a quick video on these because I'm doing all these communication modules right now. And you can learn the healthy statements that we've been going over the last few weeks. However, it's important to understand that a lot of the not healthy statements are the distortions based on our negative thinking. It's like a dirty screen. Picture the dirty screen, trying to look through it, and you just can't see things clearly. It's happening in your brain from something somewhere that happened in your life. And you're looking through a filter where you can't quite see it clearly. Maybe something reminds you of another situation. You're like, oh, I've been there. I know what that is. I've seen that before. But you're not seeing it clearly, so the statements and the judgment are coming out. I hope that made sense. I just wanted to go over some of the top few cognitive distortions, faulty thinking patterns that we have that lead to negative communication. This is not a big deal. I just want you to listen when you're speaking. Listen for all or nothing. Listen for shoulda, woulda, coulda. Look for overgeneralizing. Look for focusing on the negative, ignoring the positive, and be aware, because then we can start. You don't even have to understand why at that point, but you can self-correct and start rewiring your brain and change your verbiage. I hope that helped. I'm Dawn, the Recovery Lady. Thank you so much. If you haven't liked and subscribed and shared, please do. I appreciate it so much. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you I'm not a big channel, but I'm trying to grow and just make a difference. You have value, you have worth, and your story matters. I'd love for you to share something. Please share in the comments below. See you next time.